Is this chicken what I have, or is this fish? I know it's tuna, but it says chicken.
So get ready for some major nostalgia, but before I get into it, I just wanted to remind you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so we can keep you in the loop. Okay, let's get real for a second. We all love a good hot mess of a reality TV show. I mean, The Bachelor, gold. Love Island, love it. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Bible. But you guys, those aren't the only amazing reality shows we've all watched and loved. In fact, there were many before the times of the Kardashians that took up all of our TV watch time. So today we're gonna be taking a walk down memory lane and reminisce on all of the reality TV gold that we completely forgot about. Starting with My Super Sweet 16. Remember that garbage fire of a show? I mean that in the nicest way possible, of course. My Super Sweet 16 was basically a show that followed one lucky, spoiled 15-year-old prepping for the biggest day of his or her life, their 16th birthday. This show brought us tantrums, performances from big artists, and an entire theme song sung by Hilary Duff from her album Metamorphosis. My Super Sweet 16 premiered in the mid-2000s and was actually rebooted in 2017, but unfortunately did not last long the second time around. Next up, we have the Ashlee Simpson show, because for a while she was kind of a huge pop star and we wanted to know everything she did in her everyday life. Thus, she got an entire show about it when she was just 19. The Ashlee Simpson show premiered in 2004 and ended in 2005. Moving on to one of my favorite shows that I wish would come back some way, somehow, The Simple Life, starring Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. This show had literally everything we needed and more. Friendship, hilarious one-liners, rich people experiencing normal people problems, and of course, lots of drama. Okay, so if you've never seen this show, first of all, I'm sorry, but it took place circa when Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie were still best friends. The show basically just followed Paris and Nicole, aka two rich girls, being forced to do normal people jobs and chores. And you guys, they did some normal stuff, but they also did a lot of gross things. And of course, it was hilarious. Plus, this is where the phrase, "that's hot," really started to thrive.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's really hot.
That's hot. That's hot.
They're hot.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's hot.
If you did watch the entirety of The Simple Life, then you know Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie's friendship did end at one point or multiple points of the show, and by the end of it, Paris was on the hunt for a new BFF. Thus bringing us to our next show, Paris Hilton's My New BFF. Yes, this was a real thing. Paris Hilton's My New BFF was a competition show dedicated to Paris finding a new best friend to replace Nicole. Awkward. Picture The Bachelor, except worse, because all you get is maybe a friend out of it, but honestly, probably not. I mean, these weren't even the days you could come out in 5th place and still at least get to sell some Sugar Bear hair gummies on Instagram. It's a rough time. So naturally, the show only had 2 seasons. Next up, who could forget the addicting reality love story Newlyweds?
And I will love you with this ring.
Newlyweds was a show that gave us hope for love, you guys, even more so than The Bachelor. I know. The show followed Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey's relationship shortly after the two tied the knot, and not only did this show show us the hardships of marriage, but it was also filled with iconic Jessica Simpson moments. For instance, when she accidentally bought $750 worth of underwear because she didn't look at the price. Or of course, when she got confused on whether or not she was eating fish or chicken. Hi Jessica, we miss these moments a lot. Then of course we have the classic show Pimp My Ride, an early 2000s show completely dedicated to customizing cars to an extreme that almost didn't seem real. Next we have the show, ironically enough, called Next, which similar to The Bachelor was a reality TV dating show. However, it was much shorter and way more harsh. Okay, so Next would have one contestant go on multiple blind dates with 1 to 5 people until they found the one, and by the one, I mean the one they'd spend a little bit more time with that day. Basically, at absolutely any point in time of the date, the contestant could shout "Next," and immediately it would send the person back to the bus with no warning and bring out the next girl or guy from it.
Ooh, by everything I meant everything but country, I think.
Oh, because that's my favorite kind of music.
Oh.
So I'm gonna have to say Next.
The most iconic part of this show were the weird facts that they'd show about each blind date right when they would exit the bus. But while we're on the topic of dating shows, Might as well talk about the show Room Raiders. Yes, remember Room Raiders, the dating show where the contestant would have to pick someone to date just by seeing their rooms? They would pretty much go through someone's personal space without them present to see if that person would be a match. Even going as far as using a black light to see if there was anything gross in the room. And all of this going down while the owner of that said bedroom is watching helplessly from a van. And it was a work of art, okay? Next we have one of my favorite shows of all time, and that show is Pretty Wild. Now, this beautiful show only had one season, yet it was one of the most iconic shows ever. Pretty Wild was a reality show that followed the Nyers family, including the one and only Alexis Nyers. Now, you may remember Alexis as one of the teens behind the bling ring, or perhaps from that infamous Nancy Joe interview, but you guys, this one season of this one show was so much more, because it basically started when Alexis was arrested for the robberies and followed her entire journey of that arrest for 9 glorious episodes. I mean, who could forget the phone call?
Nancy Joe, this is Alexis Nyers calling. I'm calling to let you know how disappointed I am in your story.
And lastly, ending it with a bang, there was, of course, MTV Cribs. This show would take you into celebrities' beautiful homes in a way that wasn't creepy, but did always make you insanely jealous. I mean, we didn't even know these homes existed until this show because it wasn't all over the internet like it is now. And just like that, that wraps up our list of old reality shows that you completely forgot about. But before I go, I gotta know, which of these shows were your favorite, and were there any you haven't seen before? And lastly, is there one from our list that you think needs to be rebooted? Because I'm just gonna say it now, I'd really like another round of The Simple Life. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and before you go, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Once you're done with all of that, you can click right over here for another new video, and as always, I'm your host, Renee Ariel. You can follow me on socials at Renee Ariel, and I'll see you guys next time.